I'm Dr. Chamonix Blanche, ex-corporate and academical, turned CEO and board member of several companies and mother of 4 little extraordinary kids. But it wasn't that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the know-how, and the time to focus on designing and really going after the life that I so wanted to live. A life of freedom, of fairness, and of being fair dinkum to who I really was and what I wanted to get out of this fleeting time that we have on Mother Earth. Fast forward to many lessons learned and moving halfway around the world to the most amazing country, you'll see the life that I now live. One that gives me more safety and freedom than I ever thought would be possible, and that really only existed as a daydream while I was living in South Africa. I created Chamonix TV to give you true spot advice on how you can also live a life in this amazing country, and so that you can see how another couple like us now live in Australia with 4 little kids hearing down under. And I'll be providing you with step-by-step strategies so that you can make your Aussie dream a reality too. If you're a keen future Aussie who's looking to create a life that excites you and offers you safety, freedom, and opportunity, you have come to the right place, my friend. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Annarien. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And you are live from Port Hedland tonight, is that right?
Correct. Yes, I am.
Would you mind introducing yourself to our viewers?
Annarien Robbertse, almost 50. Proud mom of 3 and grandmother of 4. And husband who's in Perth tonight, enjoying the rain.
Yes,
and
rather cold
I
here.
work as an office manager for a mechanical workshop in Port Hedland.
Okay, that's interesting. And have you been doing that for a while?
Yes, for over 5 years. And when the boss wants to go home, I come to Port Hedland and I run the workshop and the office. But when we relocated to Perth in September for hubby's work for BHP, the arrangement was I keep my job, but when he wants to go away, I have to come up.
Okay, so you used to live in Port Hedland full time?
5.5 years, yeah.
And when you moved to, let's start at the beginning. When did you move to Australia?
3rd of May 2004.
Well, you remember the date exact.
Yes, it was a momentous occasion. It was scary, it was exciting, and it was cold in Adelaide. The wind just blew straight through the bones.
So why Adelaide, and on what visa did you guys come?
So we did the full permanent residency before we came over. We wanted to do it right. I think the fear of not getting residency or not getting citizenship and then having to be sent back, we didn't want to do that. So 2.5 years, lots of paperwork, lots of stress, lots of tears. We even bought another house. We thought it's never going to happen, and we had to sell it, and the money actually transferred into our account as we got into the plane.
Wow.
But yeah, we started in Adelaide because we had a skilled sponsored migration. So the state said, yes, we will have you. Your husband's got a skill that we can use, and you have to start in South Australia, and you have to live there for 2 years.
And you did live there for 2 years?
Yeah. Oh, we ended up living there for almost 7 years. Yeah.
So do you mind saying what's the industry that your husband, okay, you said he's working for BHP, but what does he do?
Okay, so he's now he's a maintenance planner.
And what did he come across on as what occupation?
He's a fitter and turner of trade, but in Australia, they only recognise one. So he had to choose. Either he comes over as a fitter or he comes over as a turner. So he chose fitter.
Okay, yes. Okay. And when you guys came over to Adelaide in the beginning, how did you find your feet? How did you settle in with finding friends or making friends, I guess?
Well, I'm a social person. I love people. My husband, not so much. He just frowns and says, I'll see how it go. So, but we have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. Anika is the middle child, but she's even more social than me. Everybody's her friend, especially when we come over. She was only 10, and she just look at someone and says, that's my friend. And Stephen used to tell her, you don't make friends that easily. And she says, yes, you do. You just say hello and they just tell you stuff. So she made our first 2 friends, an Australian family who now has 6 kids, and a South African family who was then in Australia 5 years, Michelle and David Press. They now live in Melbourne, and they have 2 daughters. And we just got on like a house on fire. And we, at that stage, we thought this is all we need, because we don't have any family in Australia. We didn't know how we were going to survive without them. I wanted to call them every single day. How are you doing? Are you missing us? We're missing you. It's so strange here. Everything is different. The people are strange. I mean, Aussie way, you know, and the slang and the laid back attitude. She'll be right. And one of the Aussie guys said to us, if someone says she'll be right, you need to be worried, because it's not going to be all right. But Ray Weller, he sold us our first car on the 2nd day we touched down in Australia. Even borrowed us a car. He didn't know us from a bar of soap. And he just said, I'll borrow you a car, and I'm going to sell you a car, and I'm going to get it ready for you. Come and get it tomorrow. And we were friends with him until he passed away. He just took us on, or took us in. But Carl and Vanessa Vroegeman, they were in Australia already, and they belonged to a church. So I said to my husband, the best way to get a connection is to find out a church that's similar. Because the first thing we heard was, in Australia, 90% of the population don't believe in religion, and it's going to be really hard for you. But on the contrary, it's not that. I mean, we landed in the city of churches anyway, which is Adelaide. But Carl and Vanessa took us in. They came and got us from the airport. Our flight was delayed. They still waited for us. They knew we didn't have any communication, no SIM card yet. They waited at that airport for us to land. 2 cars, all our luggage. We were tired. I don't think we were that friendly at that stage of the flight anymore. The kids were tired and excited. They took us to our, what do they call it, a transit house that the government offered us because we are immigrants. Set us up, took us to a shop to get the basic groceries. Of course, you look all this stuff up and down, you don't recognize any of the names. So let's just go with flour, milk, coffee, sugar. Doesn't matter what brand it is. We did end up going with Golden Black, I think is the home brand. The home brand, because I said you can't go wrong if you choose the home brand. And we were cold. Oh my goodness, we did not. We come from Richards Bay. It's hot and humid. You wear slops and shorts and singlets, and we land in Adelaide, and it's so cold. Okay, my husband comes from the Free State. He knows a little bit about the coldness. Yeah. But it was so nice to have people who don't know you support you and help you to settle in. Carl came and got us the next day, took us to Ray, helped us to get the first car. And then Stephen had to just go and do an interview for a job. And you got a job easy. It was amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so that was 7 years in Adelaide?
Yes, so we lived in Adelaide. We lived in Adelaide for 18 months. Then we moved to Roxby Downs in the outback of South Australia. There's only 4,500 people there. We were the 5th South African family to arrive. And that's when I said to my husband, we need to help people. When they come here, we need to tell them how you can phone your family, how you switch on the water, the power, who you need to see if you need something. We need to organize a social gathering once a month so all the new people can meet the old people.
Oh,
Eventually,
sweet.
when we left, there were 60 South African families in Roxby Downs.
Wow.
5.5 years later. And
why did you leave?
Because the work, you know, women follow their husbands wherever they go. So Stephen got a job in Port Hedland at FIFO from Perth. So yeah, that's why we left.
And how long ago was that now? How long have you been in Perth?
So we lived in Perth for 4 years while Stephen was doing FIFO, and then we moved to Port Hedland 5.5 years, and we just moved back to Perth in September.
So FIFO is fly in, fly out. I don't know if that's
Yes.
a terminology that the
Yeah,
South
yeah,
Africans
that's
are
it.
acquainted with.
Yeah,
It means
yeah.
means usually that you have a home base somewhere like in a city, say Perth, but you tend to work somewhere where you have to fly to, and you fly in and you're typically there for a few days on shift.
Yeah.
And then
So
you
they
fly
have
back and you're off shift.
different schedules, 2 and 1 or 8 and 6 or yeah. But that's really tough on a family, especially
Yes.
with teenagers. It puts lots of strain on the one who stays at home, predominantly the mother. Although there is dads who stay home and work from the local area, and the mum does the FIFO. I mean, times have changed, but
Yeah.
it is very stressful, especially if you have teenagers at home.
How old were your kids when you came over to Australia?
Vessel was 11, Annika was 10, and Barsi, very, very Afrikaans name, was only 5.
Barsi.
Barsi.
Wow, that's special. I don't think
He's
I've heard
actually
of
Johannes Hendrik, but he was born on Stephen's dad's birthday, and they had a 62-year gap between the two of them. So he was the first Robbertse grandchild, and and they called him Barsi, so he's still Barsi.
So what do they call the Australians? What do they call him?
Now that he's started his apprenticeship, they call him Johannes, actually. And some still call him Barsi, yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool. Because I find that a lot of the Afrikaans names are struggle here. What do the people call you? Because Annarien is very Afrikaans.
Annarien, or they split my name up, Annarien. So it's 2 names, and I say looks more like Chinese or Japanese or something, the breakup in it. So I tell them Annarien like margarine, and all they remember is margarine, and then I get a little bit upset, and I said, don't call me that. And then they call me Anna, and I said, don't call me Anna. So I said, just call me Rini. All that's dear and near calls me Rini. Just call me Rini. So that's my name, Rini.
And how do they pronounce your surname?
Robbertse, can't say it. They call us Robbertse. And I say, no, it's Robbertse. So they call it Robbertse. Yeah.
Robbertse.
I do stick to it. I keep on trying to teach them how to say it. Stephen is easy. He's a PH, Stephen. So that's what. I just call him Stevo. I just call him Grumpy. So that's also following him around.
Grumpy. Funny. And your children, do they still speak Afrikaans?
Yes, all of them.
By choice, or do you think they're more English than Afrikaans?
Barsi is more English, but when he speaks to us, he speaks Afrikaans. And sometimes he says, can you guys just repeat that and say it in English, because I didn't catch all the words. But then it's, when you use a word like verantwoordelikheid, and then he says, what does that mean? Responsibility, not that you would know anything about it, but he just became a dad. His little son, Flynn Johannes Robbertse, is just 6 weeks old.
Oh, sweet, congratulations. So you said four grandchildren?
4 grandchildren.
Oh,
so
wow.
Eldest son, Vessel, he's got a daughter, Ava, and Annika, she's got a son, Leon. Now, Leon and Ava was born 5 weeks apart, so they're both 3.5. And then Henry, he's 9 months now, yes, and ready to walk.
Wow, wow. And do you see them often?
With Ava in Perth, we do see her like every second weekend. With COVID, obviously, there was less contact. But now we were here for Flynn's birthday, and we did see the other 2 boys. And Anika, she FaceTimes me all the time. Hey, Mom, sorry to bother you. Look here, look what he's doing.
Oh, sweet. That's very sweet. Now, tell me, Annarien, what is the best thing for you about Australia? What do you like or love the most?
The opportunities. People here do not realize how lucky they are. This for us is the land of milk and honey. There's so many opportunities. If you are willing and you are able, my mom always said, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to work, you will work. They have all these plans in place that you want to buy a house, we'll help you. A magnitude of opportunities, studying, work. I don't know. I just sometimes feel frustrated with people that has everything in front of them and they can't see it. And I would give anything to have my family come over and experience what we are experiencing. It's endless. I love nature. I've always loved nature. I'm a passionate photographer. I'll take photos of anything and everything.
Good.
And here we did some caravanning. We are grey nomads in training because we're too young to do it full time. And I love nature. It's awesome. It's absolutely beautiful everywhere here.
Yes, there's a lot of nice places that you can go and venture to. And because it's so safe, you don't have to worry about camping outside and caravanning and those kinds of things. You can literally go anywhere and stop anywhere and camp anywhere almost.
Yeah, that's it. I realize this, you sometimes tell people, we forgot the door open, or we went camping in the bush. And they go, really? I said, yes. Don't be fooled. There's crime everywhere. Everywhere in this globe, there's crime. But here, it's slowed down a little bit. So you can do those things. And people are a little bit more caring still, even though there is some gruesome happenings everywhere. But we feel safe. We feel that we can go camping next to the beach, under the trees, in the outback, in the Pilbara. Only thing that I'm scared of is the midges because they really hurt.
Oh, yes, that's annoying. And talking about annoying, what is the worst thing for you about Australia, or the most annoying thing here?
Most annoying.
Or the thing you like the least?
The least, I don't know. Some people, ungrateful people. Ungrateful people is the most annoying thing for me. yeah, I don't know. There's not much that that disappoints me. It's just that people are their worst own enemies.
And do you go back to South Africa often?
We went back 3 times since we arrived. First time was in 2009 when Stephen's dad passed away. Unfortunately, we thought we would see him before we could get back, but I think that's one of the hartseer, the most disappointing things, that when you are so far, you're the last one to get there when hurt strikes. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, and then we went back in 2011 under more cheerful circumstances, a family reunion on my mom's side. She was one of 8 children, so when they get together, there's a lot of people. And they're all Buddha, so they know how to have a get together. And then Stephen and I went back last year, and we literally, I've never been in the Cape. I'd never been to Cape Town in all the time that I lived in South Africa. And my husband said, I'm taking you there. So we went there for a week. We also went to a family reunion to see everybody on my mom's side. We went to see Stephen's family on his side. Went to Richards Bay where we lived, and it's so nice. You just want to hug all those people and tell them how much you care and how much you think about them, and you hope to see them soon. And yeah, that is the best of it. And of course, I do not go to South Africa if nobody takes me to a game reserve. I need to go see a lion or see a rhino, or just take me. I just need to go. It's
yeah. Where do you go? Which game reserve do you usually go to, or is it always different?
Well, when my mom lived in the Eastern Cape, we went to the Addo Elephant Park. Coming from Richards Bay, you are surrounded by Umlatuzi and all those places, and St. Lucia, and you know, it's endless. Nature is on your doorstep.
Yeah.
So my brother-in-law is a headmaster for one of the primary schools, and he loves nature too. My sister and her kids, so they always make a plan to take us. We get into this mini bus and off we go.
Oh,
and everybody just goes, ooh, did you see that?
So what do you miss the most about South Africa, Annarien?
I miss my family. I will never stop missing them because none of them are here. And you that's the downside of it. You always feel like the outsider. You miss out because you chose to leave. And they didn't. They were still all together.
Deep breath in and out. Where's your coffee?
But we call. I only have my mom left. And Stephen doesn't have any parents left anymore. So, you know, we're hanging there. Hanging there, Mom. She's 72 this year. But yeah, brothers and sisters, and you try and catch up whenever you can. But life goes on. That's why when you come over here, you have to be strong. I know we're all allowed to cry.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to be strong, and you are so privileged if your family can come with you. Never forget that. You are very privileged if you can still be surrounded by your family. It is a hard decision to come over all by yourself.
Yeah. What if there's one piece of advice that you can give other South Africans who are considering coming to Australia, what would you say to them?
Never give up. keep on trying. Sometimes it takes so long that you think they forgot about your application. You think you're going to give out the last rand that you got, but you're not. It's so much easier to start here than people think. Don't worry about bringing your stuff with, unless it's extremely sentimental. Your money will be enough. And if you are willing to work, which all South Africans are hardworking people, that is a fact. You will make it. And don't be scared to ask for help. Put your hand up and say, I'm struggling a little bit here. Can someone help me? Because when you arrive here, the only thing that you need is someone to talk to you and say, you'll be all right. Let us know if you need something. Yeah. Let's just talk about back home a little bit, just to put a little bit of jam around your heart and a little blanket to make you warm, and just say, it's going to be okay. I'm here. If you want to talk about home, or if you want to ask how you can settle in, there's a lot of people out there that's willing to help. You know John Sydney on Aussie Carners. That man is a gem. You can ask him absolutely anything. And I mean, I've given his details to so many people that want to come over. I always tell them, I can't help you to get to Australia, but I can tell you who you can ask if you want to come to Australia. But never give up. Anything is possible. Yeah. If you put your heart to it, you can do it.
Yes, as you said, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Lovely. It's been so interesting hearing your story, Annarien. It's just fabulous to hear how you've been here for quite a long time, but you still have that passion of seeing your family and understanding how important that connection is. And I think the beauty about living in this day and age is that we are able to still speak to our family. Yeah. I say still, like see them, and actually you can almost smell them these days over Zoom. It's funny, one of the interviews I had earlier today, the person said to me, they put up their makeup for the interview. They even put on perfume for the interview. And I'm thinking, it's almost like that. It's so real these days that you can still spend that time with your family, even though they might be far away. I know it doesn't substitute the real person being there, but it's just light years ahead of what it used to be. So yes, thank you again.
It's amazing. Yeah, my mom is technologically not there. I think if she could have a flip phone, she'll still have one of those. But it's so amazing for her just to do a WhatsApp call. She just gets so inspired by it. But it's good. It's like you say, you can almost reach out and touch them. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much. It's a heartwarming story to hear how you have settled in and made Australia your home, and that all your children are flourishing and doing well here. And thanks again for giving us your time. And I'm sure that your story will resonate with somebody in South Africa who might consider coming over and thinking, I'm so glad that I heard what Annarien had to say, because that just gave me that extra bit of confirmation on X, Y, or Z, what I was thinking.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
It's our pleasure. Have a lovely time up in Port Hedland, and we'll see you soon back in Perth.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Annarien. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and then it'll make sure that you never miss a thing. I'll see you same time and same place next week. Bye for now.